हरिः कन्ना।
So now the question arises, the next question that pops up in your mind is how to choose high quality samples. And basically, then we will also look into the top 7 reasons to choose a sample from given population. The next question is, so although we ensure that all the population members have an equal chance to be included in the sample, it does not mean that the samples derived from the particular population satisfying the criteria will be alike. So they will still vary from one another. So this variation can be slight or substantial. For example, a set of samples of healthy pupils' body temperatures will show less difference, but the difference in these pupils' systolic blood pressure would be sizable. So it's also observed that the data's accuracy depends on the sample size. The accuracy is much lesser with a smaller sample size than using a larger study sample. Thus, if two, three, or more samples are derived from a population, the bigger they are, the more they resemble each other. So now the top 7 reasons to choose a sample from a given population. So sampling is a must to conduct any research study. So here are the top 7 or top 6 reasons to use a sample. So the first one is a practicality. So in most cases, a population can be too large to collect accurate data, so which is not practical. So samples allow researchers to collect data that can be analyzed to provide insights into the entire population. So samples offer a representation of the whole population if sampled accordingly. So, for example, 2024 is coming up, and in India, elections, every state is going to go for the election, or even member of parliamentarian elections will also happening in 2024. So, for this, if you take the sample, you have 1.4 billion, 1.4 billion people in India. This is our population. Out of that population, maybe 70 percentage of people might be holding votes, writing vote, right to vote. So this, out of this population, let's take uh, close to 1 crore people have right of voting in India. In that case, my population, if I want to do some research, if you want to do some research on that, so my population at that moment is the people whoever has a right to vote. So it's close to 1 crore. So it's literally impractical to do research on 1 crore people other than government. Even for the government, it take huge amount of time and resources. So that's the reason this sample allows researchers to collect data that can be analyzed to provide insights into the entire population of 1 crore voters. So samples offer a representation of the whole population of 1 crore voters if sampled accordingly. Then we have it also the next reason is it offers urgent data. So when it comes to research, the amount of time available can be a defining factor for a study. A sample provides a smaller set of the population for review, delivering data useful to represent the whole population. So surveying a smaller sample as opposed to the entire population can save precious time for the researchers and offer urgent data. Then the third reason, it's a cost effective. The cost of conducting research is often a parameter for the study. So researchers must do their best with the resources they have to conduct a survey and gain accurate insights. So surveying a representative population sample is cost effective as it requires fewer resources like computers, researchers, interviewers, servers, and data collection centers. Just imagine you have to uh, do a survey for the population of 1 crore voters in India for the 2024 exit polls. Just imagine the, the sheer amount of resources such as computers, researchers, interviewers, servers, and data collection centers that are required for your research on exit polls of 2024. So that would be huge and it will never be a cost effective. So that's the reason a sampling will be a cost effective solution for that. Then we have accuracy of representation. Depending on the sampling method, research conducted on a sample can be accurate with lesser non-response bias than if performed by the census. A sample that is selected using non-probability method is an accurate representation of the population. So this data collected can be used to gather insight into the whole community. And inferential statistics. So inferential statistics is a process by which representative data is used to infer insights about the entire population. So inferential statistics can only be obtained using data samples. So data collected from a sample represents the whole population. And the next one is more accurate sample. A sample is more accurate than a census. So a census of an entire population of 1 crore voters only sometimes offer accurate data due to errors such as inconsistent responses or non-response bias. A carefully obtained sample, however, does away with the sampling bias and provides more accurate data so that adequately represents the population. And the seventh one is manageable. So sometimes collecting an entire data population is near impossible as some populations are too challenging to come by. So in this case, a sample can represent the study as it is feasible, manageable, and accessible. So just to conclude, although the population and sample are two different terms, they both are related to each other. So the population is used to draw samples, making statistical inferences about the population is the primary purpose of the sample. Without the population, samples can't exist. The better the quality of the sample, the higher the level of accuracy of generalization. So right sampling is essential to conduct insightful market research. That's what the conclusion of this slide. And so with this, we have completed the introduction to statistics. In this, we have seen sample and population and then their differences and variable types, data types and levels of measurements in detail. So now we will be entering into descriptive statistics. So next we will be working with descriptive statistics, and which is also a part of exploratory data analysis course, intuitive exploratory data analysis course, and these two courses will be part of the part of intuitive statistics for you course.